Hey, hi guys, it's Paul and Merriman here from Ask Paul. So this week we have a slightly different video. There has been a trend on YouTube for the last number of years in relation to what I spend in a week, where people upload content around what they've spent in a week. I'm going to review one of them. We've been looking around the web for some time. We finally found one here on YouTube from a student, 21 years of age, living in Dublin. Her name is Moya, so we're going to check out the video. I'm going to comment through and let you know what I think of what Moya's doing with her money. Just to say, if you've done one of these already yourself and you want me to review it, put it in the comment section below. Don't forget, before we get into this video, like it, please subscribe to the channel, put the bell on to make sure you get notifications on future personal finance videos. Let's have a look at how Moya spent her money.
Today I'm filming a what I spent in a week as a 21-year-old student living in Dublin. So I feel like my spending is slightly skewed. I'm probably not spending as much as I would have been if I was like going out and drinking and going out for dinner, all of the above.
In fairness to Moya, this happened to everybody during lockdown, where their spending was completely thrown on its head because of lockdown. So they might have been spending X amount on a monthly basis or a weekly basis. Everything shut down, and that should have meant everyone had a little bit more money in their back pocket coming out of lockdown. What you did with that was important.
But I really wanted to do this video to show you guys how much it costs to like live in Dublin and how I like to balance budgeting with like treating myself, you know? And I'm sure I don't have to say this, but like every week is going to be different.
Okay, so I really like Moya. She's talking about balancing her finances by budgeting a little bit, but also treating herself a little bit. So she seems to have it well balanced already.
I pay for everything myself. I've been working since I was in school, and now I'm very lucky that I can also do social media as a part-time job.
So she's obviously got the hustle of being on social media, making a living for herself. She's been working since she was in school. I'm interested to see where this goes, because she and her parents don't pay towards her rent. So she's obviously rented in Dublin as well. So interested to see what she's paying on rent.
I do have a student loan which covers my tuition costs. That's £3,000 a year, so I'll have to pay that back, but everything else comes from my savings. So let's talk about rent, because rent is obviously my biggest expense each week. I feel like people are generally quite surprised at how expensive Dublin is just in comparison to other European cities. In my totally unprofessional and unresearched opinion, I think it's just because like Dublin is a pretty small city, but it's also like thriving and booming right now.
Okay, so she got that correct. She's talking about Dublin thriving and booming. It's very small. Massive supply and demand issue in Dublin is what has rents so high.
Allow me to introduce myself. I represent the rent is too damn high party.
The fact that we don't have a good enough policy in place to create more housing has created this massive problem when it comes to people renting.
Monthly altogether it's €2,409.
2,000.
Very random number. But I pay €850 a month because my room is the biggest, and I was happy to pay the extra money.
Okay, so I'm going to just stop it here. For €850 per month is what she's paying on rent. She's sharing the apartment rather with two friends. There's three of them in total in the apartment. What I'm going to show here is I did a video previously about 5 ways to kind of avoid money traps, or 5 money traps to avoid when you're in your 20s. One of these was moving out of home too early. Not sure where Moya is from, her parents' background, etc. It's not going to get into that. I'm not here to negatively comment on anybody. But what I will say is that £850 per month, 10 grand a year. You know, if you're paying the higher income tax, you have to nearly earn 20 grand a year to get that. So it seems like a lot for 21-year-old to be spending, but fair play to her, because she's clearly making money, balancing her budget and paying rent. I know a lot of people that are still at home, probably in their 30s, and they haven't yet left yet. One problem I do have with this, not just speak generically for everybody, is obviously if you could save that $850 per month over a few years, you'd be able to go on the offense. Everyone's different. I don't know what Moya's doing at college, for argument's sake. If you're going to set up your own business, you'd have a big slush fund behind you as well, or if you're going to buy a property. But all for living for now, looks like Moya is probably having a ball living in a city centre in Dublin, she mentioned. So yeah, hats off to her, fair play to work to be able to pay that rent, because that's pretty impressive.
So
at 21.
Honestly, the flat is so nice. It's like late Georgian, early Victorian, got high ceilings, nice architectural features, great windows. You guys know that I love my windows. So yeah, $212.50 a week.
Okay, so $212.50 per week. In fairness to this girl, she's talking about how much she loves the house, the architecture, the windows, etc. She's also mentioned again that she does budget and she does spend money on things she likes. Everybody's entitled to spend the money where she wants, but it sounds like she's really getting quality out of what she's doing with her money. So she's living with friends, keeping the costs down. She likes the area. She doesn't have to walk half an hour to get into the city centre. Probably studying somewhere, I presume, in the city centre, Trinity or somewhere, I don't know. So yeah, she's doing this a really clever way. Fair play. For 21 years of age, you know, this is excellent.
As for utilities, utilities, it kind of varies each month. We get charged one bill for electricity and heating, and I don't think we get charged for water in Ireland. But last month it was 137.50. I'm gonna do the maths because I can't do that in my head. So split that between 3.
Okay, so while she's doing the maths here on her utility bills, it does go to show as well, although this is in my previous video about not moving her home too early, this girl is budgeting at 21 years of age. She's learning amazing life skills around how to manage your money because she's put herself in that environment. You would probably think if she lived at home till 25, 26, 27, whatever age, she's going to miss out on all that life experience. So hopefully this type of thing at 21 years of age just build an amazing future for finance because she's put herself in that position where she's had to do this herself. I'm not going to lie, I'm going to be really honest when I say this. I keep going into the brain to say she's 21 years of age, and I just presume there was the banker mum and dad that's supporting her, but she's clearly said herself that she's bankrolling all this herself by working really hard at 21 years of age. So I can't do anything other than throw bouquets at the girl and say fair play.
I just use Monzo to keep track of everything that I'm spending. I like to use the app on my phone to pay for everything in shops, or the card if I forgot my phone. You can kind of like keep track of everything that you've bought, and you can also like set aside a certain amount of money per month as your budget, which is really helpful if you're trying to like save money and spend less. This is obviously not sponsored by Monzo, it's just what I use.
Great, so she mentioned she's using Monzo. Most people probably would use something similar like a Revolut app or an N26. That Monzo wouldn't have that big of a brand name here in the Irish marketplace. She's tracking her expenses, she knows what she's spending, and she's setting budgets for herself. If I was a lecturer, I'd have to give out an A+ here already so far. We're only a few minutes into this video, but this girl at 21 years of age is absolutely flying. Any 21-year-olds out there watching, you're probably hitting your head behind the cushion or a pillow somewhere going, stop, leave me alone, I'm not doing any of this. But look, everyone's different.
But yeah, most of my money is in pounds, so it also I think has a pretty good conversion rate if I'm like using my card in Dublin.
Okay, so the one thing that's probably going wrong here is Monzo from the UK point of view. She's getting money in pounds sterling and then using the Monzo to convert it into euros, which is pretty not too bad. I just want to make sure that she's not making money in euros and transfer that back into sterling and back in through Monzo, where she's earning in Ireland or the UK, or what way she's set up her business. But yeah, that'd be the only slight concern about bringing sterling into euro all the time.
But that day I did my weekly grocery shop. It's so exciting because a Lidl just opened quite near me, which is great because we used to do our food shop at Dunn's, but that can be like slightly more expensive for fresh produce and basics. For that shop I spent 10.
Boom, 21 years of age, noticing the difference between shopping in Dunn's and Lidl. I'm probably just too old for these type of videos. But what I will say is I'm super impressed with someone at 21 years of age being able to do all this, maybe not giving 21-year-olds the credit that they probably deserve. What she's doing, we see people being 30, 35 and they don't really do this until they have kids. So starting life this way at 21 years of age, I can already tell, and I've seen this from loads of people in the past, how well this girl's probably financial future is going to be, because she understands budgeting, she understands how to control her money, understands how to buy cheaper. So yeah, I think this is fun.
On Wednesday, I just had class that morning from the comfort of my living room. Kath had also made like this Mexican food the night before, so for lunch I just had leftover beans.
I'm actually going to encourage everybody to watch this whole video anyway, no matter what age profile you are. This is what you need to be doing when you're trying to live a more frugal life and to make sure you're not wasting your money. Big tip, we've always said before, don't be eating out all the time. Try and keep, if you're trying to save for something, for a deposit for a house or etc, or going out in your own business, or some type of major expense coming your way, make a dinner day before, going to a friend's house for dinner, keeping our costs down. We do know that food, and especially when you're looking at takeaway foods and eating out all the time, is probably the number one biggest expense we see when we're going through mortgage applications for people. So people download their statements for 6 months, they see where they're spending money on their debit card or tapping as they go. The amount of food that usually is in there on a daily basis or a weekly basis is quite high, and we can see here, she's spent very little so far on money, and she's in Wednesday.
I just spent Thursday in the library, which was really grim, but I saw my friend Caroline for a lunch break, which was really nice. We just got takeaway Thai from a place in Dublin called Yum Thai and sat on a bench on campus and caught up. It was €6 for like a veggie curry noodle dish, which I feel like is pretty standard price for lunches in Dublin, but it was really yummy and it gave me the fuel to stay in the library for the rest of the afternoon. And that evening I just made a veggie stir-fried rice using the vegetables I had in my fridge already. I did have to buy rice and it gave me the fuel to stay in the library.
Again, we got the Thursday, we're buying lunch for £6. Obviously, if she was doing that every single day of the week, it's going to massively impact on her budget. So again, she's doing it the right way. She did mention again at the beginning of the video that she likes to budget and treat herself, which is cool.
I spent the whole afternoon editing, and I was editing until nighttime, so I didn't really have time to make dinner, and I didn't really want to like stop and make food. My flatmate was also ordering takeaway, so I kind of just like hopped on that bandwagon. We got food from Gian Street Food. So good, so cheap. I just got the spicy chips, which was like $3.80. You get so many chips. You get so many chips, and they were yummy and super spicy, and I literally just ate a bag of chips for dinner. Student life, you know? Again on Saturday.
Who doesn't get to Friday and kind of just goes, yeah, I'm going to get a takeaway. I think that's probably half of Ireland. But again, she just went for a bag of chips, €3.80. Wasn't going for loads of food or picking out too much, and 20 or 30 quid into the budget for the week.
So I think I need to make myself like a nice wholesome dinner. I'm just looking at my fridge now. I have some veggies. I have some broccoli and aubergine and carrots, which I can like make something with, but I don't really think I have any like saucy things, if you know what I mean. So I think I might just run to Lidl and pick up some like tomato.
Gotta be honest, Saturday, looking in the fridge, not much there. Just runs out to Lidl and buys something for €1 to make do what she can do with. Big stuff, you know. I for one definitely would have went for a takeaway here. Willpower certainly would have been shot. I guess most years are going to be the exact same.
Okay, so I'm just doing the maths now, and I think I spent €397.30 for that week, which, considering I got a tattoo, seems pretty good. If I take away the tattoo, I only spent $297.30.
Great, so that was Moya's video. Really enjoyed looking over that. Just goes to show, guys, as I was going through, I've never done one of these videos before. Look at somebody spending for a week. We know from our own habits what we do in relation to food. Most of the cost that probably could have leaked from Moya that week was around food, but she made very, very smart decisions, making food at home, making enough for the next day, making enough for lunch. And again, I think the only where it would have leaked, other than a tattoo, obviously she mentioned, about 290 quid for the week, but it was 390 with the tattoo included. But other than that, you can see how going out for a little bit more coffee than she did, or maybe eating out during the week a little bit more and having the extra takeaway, could easily have crept up into an extra 100 quid a week, which is £5 a year, which, you know, when you put it into context, is probably a couple of holidays or 3 or 4 holidays maybe for breaks away, city breaks away. So it's trying to make sure she's using her money, which she has done, or you're using your money for life experiences rather than leaking it on stupid stuff. This one is one to follow, A1 student when it comes to personal finance. So yeah, go check out the full video yourself.